Hey guys, welcome back. It's Lucid, and we are back with Mountain Arena. The coalition against Mictlan is building up to a boil. There are big armies coming through each of the columns, and they are going to have their way with Mictlan. It's looking like, but Mictlan has given up dreams of a quick conquest of Vanheim, and instead is rolling out to defend each of the thrones in the corridor, or at least defend the corridor, if not the throne. So it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. There's a lot of really interesting matchups. Mictlan has been playing phenomenally so far, but he's got a lot of really big challenges ahead of him, so we'll have to see what happens. Well, now I see Mictlan has 3 discount sites, so that is not ideal. Okay, so Tienchi had put up Eyes of God. I really hope the Tienchi army attacks my Throne of Fire this turn. It lacks the mage or even priest support to clearly beat what I already had in the province. More importantly, my lucky Archdevil Magath can get there with all 40 Aussies from the Vanheim front. If I'm lucky, I wipe that army this turn and will still be home in time to fight in Lanka next turn. What? Did he attack? Oh, but these guys moved. He's got Divine Blessing. If he can protect these commanders, he's got a lot of bait here in the back. Okay, wait, hold up. This is, guys, get the fucking popcorn out. This is going to be a good fight. I have no idea which way this is going to go. So he's doing a bunch of quickness casting on these Aussies. He's got this guy who presumably is going to do... do these guys have dark vision? No, so they're going to get a pretty big stat penalty from Solar Eclipse. Don't know if that's... how much that's going to matter. Solar Eclipse goes up. The Aussies are taking off. Murder Kitties en route. Now, there's some important things, because a lot of times you look at a fight and you're like... you're like, oh, I know how this is going to play out, or something like that. There was a lot of information missing from Tienchi. Like, he didn't know that 80 more Aussies were going to show up. That really is all banking on the... oh, God. Yeah, it sucks he lost so much of his mage core. Oh, my God. Dude, the Aussies are blendering these guys. And they're kind of getting picked off a little bit. Well, this battle's so chaotic. Wow. Okay, will Magath get away? He must get away, right? They've routed! Oh, they killed Magath. This was so key for defending against Lanka. The balls on Mictlan to take this fight. I would have never taken this. But he's got some big freaking cojones. It almost worked. Oh my fucking God. Those 10 Masters of the Way. Oh my God. Killing 120 Aussies for the cost of... well... I think this is a fair trade. Mictlan can't afford to take trades like this. He might say differently in his next message to us, but you can't take trades like this. I mean, he killed a lot of mages. This was debilitating in a way for Tienchi, but you can't take trades like this. if you're in a coalition like this. Honestly, Tienchi could have done better. If they kept the Mage Corps alive, I think they just... this is not how you want to lay out your army against flyers. You basically want it to be like Swiss cheese for them to land in. Right? The problem with this formation, we'll watch as it happens again, because this is such a cool battle, is the line, like, where, imagine this, wherever the Jaguars land, they're going to delete a hole in the line, right? And then nothing is there to attack them once they've killed it, and then they move and delete another hole. If it's like Swiss cheese, they land in the middle of a hole, right? And then they're surrounded. Right now, even though Tienchi has the numbers advantage, just watch. Okay, you see how there's an area of green here? Everything's dead around the green. But if this were like a whole grid, sure, they would have killed a bunch of stuff, but they would all be popping the same turn as these guys are destroying them. How many of these guys are quickened? It looks like maybe about 20% of them are. The stat penalty from Solar Eclipse almost turned it. And then these guys are worthless. See, these guys would have been... Okay, we'll look at the stats after the battle. Look how many kills these guys got. The Footmen, 2 kills. Archers, 5, probably friendly fire. These guys almost on. Medium Footmen, 1 kill. And they didn't really do their job. Their job was to be distraction chaff while the blenders blended everything. So really the complete wrong formation here. I think if it was the right formation, he would have lost half as much stuff and still killed everything. But, I mean, this is one of my favorite battles I've seen in a long time. So this is hardly a critique, and he won. So very, very cool. Alfarius Hydra thus decided to aid the Gigachag Oni Lanka, sent death gems in return for air. Planning to laugh at the Geneva Convention, and Foul Vapors like there's no tomorrow. Okay. Message from Lanka. Man, this game has changed in the last few turns. Tienchi put up Eyes of God, and we've been poring over maps and graphs together. All the reports of Mictlan's army and Blood Eco have been wildly exaggerated. Yeah, that's the truth. The Vans have all... Okay, so that's good. I'm glad they figured that out. The Vans have all reported figures of between 600 and 800 Aussies. That huge army is what triggered the coalition, but his army graph more or less matches mine, where he probably doesn't have more than 350. He's either been using a ton of fake army items, or the Vans have been fibbing. Okay, if it's Ballin Stalin in the game, and the option for him lying to you exists, he's probably lying to you. What we don't have is any vision of his Aussies. It seems like all of them have pulled out of Van and are heading south from me and Tienchi. Nobody in the coalition has scouts in position to know what's really happening. If he attacks us this turn, it will probably be devastating, since he knows exactly what we have and will only move if he's confident he can kill our army. On a map like this, even Lucid should be building scouts. Intel's everything, and right now we're in the dark. Cool. Oh, was this a magic phase attack? Oh, ghouls. Sacrificing them to TNN. Oh, from Niflheim. Okay. We've got some squabbling here between Niflheim and the elves. Niflheim's running around in Heat 3. This looks a little dangerous. Okay. That's comical. Okay, so this is the throne, now taken by Tienchi, and he has major reinforcements coming. Whether he'll have enough mage reinforcements remains to be determined, but these are big streams of sacreds heading over here. I think he's going to be able to hold this position. I don't know if he's going to be... I mean, he can maybe take this. But even then, there's a decent amount of, like, army chaff here. He can shore this up. I'm not sure he can actually push in and conquer and, like, The other thing is, like, if you go after his capital, oh man, you're going to have to fight the full wrath of Mictlan, not just, like, one arm. All right, Lanka takes this throne and raids out here. And he gets patrolled out here. I don't know if he has... Okay, so the unrest is now down and its order scales. I don't know... I don't know if Lanka knows the scales. Oh, no, but he can probably see it with Eyes of God. And if they're actively patrolling, the unrest-causing spells, which Lanka can normally use to, like, pave the way for them, aren't going to work. I don't think. But there's a big hole in Mictlan's plan, which he was preparing to have this archdevil fly back and defend this against Lanka. I think what he didn't appreciate is that this army got reinforced from back here because of the roads. Like this, he didn't see that this army came all the way through. So he was thinking only what was here would be moving this way, but instead it was what was also here moving. Because there are roads in all of these rows. Ooh. So I guess Lanka's going to go and make a move. It's going to be pretty spicy. All right. You know, it's possible... Huh. Yeah, I mean, he is thinking about doing a fatigue play because it's cold, and he does have water mages, so he can do grip of winter and rigor mortis. But he also lost his... I don't think he has access to solar eclipse casters anymore. Not that that would matter against Lanka, but... This is pretty interesting. All right, so this army has moved here and hasn't decided where it's going yet. I think on a strategic level, he's got to decide. I think you commit to finishing off Vanheim, but if you lose this, you could start losing a lot of territory around here too, which would be annoying. And Agartha has this big army on the throne, but hasn't yet moved out here to fight Mictlan. I don't think this Agartha army is going to win against Mictlan unless the god can solo kill that army, which... Tanking Aussies is really fucking hard. If the god's going to solo kill him, he definitely isn't going to do it by running around and stomping and fatiguing himself out. But this is super interesting. Super interesting. Yeah, this fort's going to take a while to crack. 1,000 wall strength. Yeah, probably like 2 or 3 turns. But I think that's it for turn 42. We've got... Okay, we're only 13 minutes in, so we can keep going. I'll go ahead and pull up the next turn. All right, next turn, Ho. Message from Tienchi. Well, ow. Not as well as I'd hoped. He will need to deal with Lanka also. I will build a fort and play defense until I can start raiding. Lanka wants to focus killing his eco rather than killing him. Worried about the Yomi backstab. We have nap 3, but still concerned. The battle for the Throne of Fire was a significant defeat, but I think I was right to take the fight last turn. Tienchi's stat advantage would have become even more extreme if he got to claim the Throne of Fire before we fought. The battle was close enough that 3 to 4 Turkey mages who didn't bring could have swung the outcome. Just about everyone alive on Tienchi's side at the end of battle had luck. My decisive tactical error was that my Ocelotls should have been grounded in the line formation. While I expect Tienchi to reinforce with dozen mages and a prophet, I didn't understand that the throne row roads meant that Tienchi could bring all of his map move 12 infantry too. Those extra troops didn't kill much directly, but they created a relative numbers balance that allowed his sacreds to defeat mine in detail. See, I actually have a different appraisal of this. I think... if he had been in a line formation, I think he probably would have lost harder. The only thing that would have been good about a line formation for him, well, okay, there's a mix. So in the exact formation that Tienchi had, a line formation would have been good because he would have killed the chaff, which would have contributed to HP routing the army, and then hit the sacred. So he wouldn't have been distracted. He would have defeated them in detail. Chaff first, sacred second, right? So that would have worked. The problem is that was not really the ideal formation for Tienchi. If he had like the Swiss cheese thing for him to go into, like to dive into, I think a line formation would have been really bad because you would have basically had like a ball of very killy elite stuff from Tienchi that would have hit into a line of Aussies. And the line of Aussies are pretty fast, right? But well, there's a few things that would have happened. One is the Aussies wouldn't have killed the Mage Corps, so the Mage Corps would have still been there casting whatever spells they were going to cast. Hard to know what those were. Two, the killy ball from Tienchi would have punched a hole in the Aussie line, almost certainly. And then it would be a line of Aussies, or like a stream of Aussies coming in from the top and a stream of Aussies coming in from the bottom. And they would have probably blended that because they would have had the numbers advantage. So if the Tienchi had the good formation, which I think was a bit of a Swiss cheese thing, I think it would have fucked him no matter which way he put the Aussies. But putting him in a line would have been better against that extremely specific formation that Tienchi had. But it would have been worse. I don't know. It's hard to say. I don't think I don't think the line formation was the right way to do it. But I'm not sure. I think the better way to say it is, as it turned out, he got probably a lot better outcomes than he would have, I think, flying in. I don't know. It's confusing because he might have HP routed the army by killing the chaff first and splitting it up. But, I mean, if Tienchi had just put all of it, I don't know. This is a pretty complicated what if. I think it would have been a better outcome. I think he got the best outcome he basically could have given Tienchi's kind of failure in scripting. The downside of my logical masterpiece allowing me to bring every Ocelot I've ever made to defend the Throne of Fire is that they're all dead now. It's only 5 to 6 turns production, but I don't have easy ways to buy time. The short-term Ocelot shortage is unfortunate because Lanka's predictable move is to attack me with their entire army this turn. And their 30 morale is incredibly valuable when facing Wailing Winds. I have basically two options. I can take the fight I'm expecting with Lanka this turn with my surviving army. It'll be Order 2, negating the stat bonus for quickness, but not the speed. And I don't think he'll be expecting my script. If I do that, I'll be all in, committing my Pretender who holds up my globals, all of my Crystal Mages, the Circle Master who summoned the Archdevil, and the majority of my Mage Corps. Or I can retreat from 118 to 126. I'd be able to reinforce with 60 Sacreds and Mages in my Southern Vanheim army, forge some morale gear, twice-born my Pretender, perhaps research Growing Fury. But if I budge, Lanka will have the option to just march south, and that would force me to chase them into Turmoil 3 and potentially lose control of the Sarmatia region. Flying Jaguar Circus presents Race Car Demons versus the most exhausting show on Earth. Okay, so he's doing a fatigue play. That was a message to everyone. Hydroplanes are falling into pieces. Mictlan shall now have to think more about just beating up on a stalling opponent. Okay, Lanka, the Throne of Life has been mega cursed. First with the elves falling from the sky, our H3 hero, then a necromancer uprising. By God, will we claim it this turn? Maybe. So we're going to roll Mictlan's blood hunting operation this turn. Hopefully he didn't notice the roads and doesn't realize we can bring everything this turn. Ideal would be for him to reinforce with he's definitely going to think about that after Tienchi just showed up and forced using the road. So unlikely you're going to pull one over him here. Ideal would be for him to reinforce 100 Aussies and for us to wipe that stack. We're diving in hard, not even wasting a turn claiming the throne. recruiting juicy crystal mages because of the weird fight with Tienchi on the throne. Sending 100 Aussies and an Archdevil is just such an oddly sized commitment. Too small to be decisive, too large to throw away. So it strikes us as the kind of move that you make if you're stretched thin and can't consolidate your forces quickly. That's why, so really the reason he did that move is because he didn't expect the full Tienchi army, right? He was expecting basically half of that with a lot fewer mages. That's why we're moving ASAP, to hopefully bite off another 100 to 150 sacreds this turn. For the record, the plan is not to conquer Mictlan. The plan is to trade that army for a devastatingly large-scale pillage. We want to burn everything to the ground except his hell-scaled core. Okay? All right. So, actually, before I potentially reveal this, let's go watch this battle. I think it's in Way Woods. Oh man, that is a lot of angry demons. And actually a lot of chaff. I mean, there aren't a ton of sacreds here. There's some Jade Serpents, so he's been spending nature gems to get these. A few Eagle Warriors, some slaves. I mean, this can't be more than 40 Jaguars, maybe 45. Probably about 15 to 20, probably 25, 30 Eagles. And then like 10 Aussies. So he's doing a fatigue play. Will it work though? I mean, quickness stuff is generally pretty good. Okay. Wailing Winds has been cast. Natural Storm and Quagmire. Quagmire is going to slow these guys down a bit. Also add to the stat penalty. I think these guys have... They have Swamp Survival, but these guys do not. I don't think the Flyers get the penalty, do they? Oh, no, they do. Huh. Relief has been cast. None of the fatigue play stuff has been cast yet. The attack density is just so high on this line. Like, I mean, it's 3 guys to a square compared to 2. And the Aussies, I mean, the Aussies are doing 6 attacks a tile, and these guys are doing 2 attacks a tile, though they have quickness. And the okay, he's got flaming arrows. And these guys have a fire malice. There's a lot of garbage. He's been casting Swarm, a little bit of Raised Dead. Rigor Mortis is now up. Oh, so he didn't do Grip of Winter. Oh, but these guys just got crushed. So this is one of the problems with like a glass cannon build, is it's very vulnerable to chaff. And it looks like Mictlan's really picked this apart. All right, the fact that it's vulnerable to chaff, you know, little things like slingers, you know, which you're going to get in a PD dump, right? You put flaming arrows on them. And then also, they just don't have a lot of protection. They'll just get plinked down, and they don't have amazing stats, especially because he's fighting in order. We'll see. And I think it's order... Yeah, it's going to be order 1, because I don't think there was any turmoil. Oh, man, just such a good play by Mictlan. The balls on this guy. I love it. This is the other nice thing about... How are these guys not fatiguing out? Oh, he's got relief up. That's how. And then they've got Blood Surge as well, which helps. Turn 16, it's already over. We're going to watch this one again, guys. Oh my god. Loses 13 Raktapada, 2 Raksharajas. God, Wailing Winds didn't do shit either. Let's watch this again. I have a few questions. Oh my god, he hardly lost anything. Lost some Jaguars, couple turkeys. These turkeys probably were the key. No kills, but I think they did a lot of swarm casting, and I think that was actually the key in this whole thing. And he's got Mother Rogue, so he can easily afford to do swarm spam. Sleep Clouds, Reinvigoration. This turkey cast, it's a blood turkey. So first the imps from Lankaland, but we had, okay, here was a bunch of swarms castings happening. These guys have a chaos power -2. How is it -2? I thought it was order 1. It should be only -1. Oh, his scales might still be there, and they might have gone up a tick. Because even though the candles wouldn't have increased, if the scale's still there, might have gone up. God, these sacreds hold the line. The chaff and a ton of swarmcast. Let's take a look at these turkey mages, just see what how they were scripted. Okay, 2 swarms. Some of those got interrupted. Yeah, they were each casting 2 swarms. Healing Light, Sleep Cloud. Healing Light, Sleep Cloud. Personal regen. So a decent amount of swarm. I don't know how many total. We could go through and look at the beginning, but... Is it getting blendered? Are they fatiguing out? That's the other question. Oh man, they are. I was like, why aren't they moving to attack? They're fatigued out. How did these guys fatigue out so fast? It's only turn 6. How are they fatigued out? So many questions. All right, so look at them. They have 3 encumbrance. Okay, Quagmire's gonna, I think, increase their encumbrance by 1. Okay, that was Quagmire, right? Oh, wow. I crippled... How did it go up to 8? Wait, what am I missing here? 3 and 2 is 5, not 8. Oh, Curse of Stones. Oh, fuck, I didn't even see that. How many of these guys got hit by Curse of Stones? Oh, no. It's like they all got hit. A lot of them did. It's going to kind of create an interesting dynamic, because the faster ones are probably going to... Who casts Curse of Stones anyway? Probably his god, right? Wait, where is an earth? Oh, was it one of these guys that cast it? Oh, this guy cast it, and he had a pin, 1 pin booster. Damn. Okay, so this guy, 6 encumbrance. Oh, Quagmire's down. So these Curse of Stones people are getting kind of ruined by fatigue. Pretty much everybody at the back has Curse of Stones. Everybody at the front... No, a lot of people at the front have it too. They're also going to... Yeah. Turn 5. They are done. They are done. Wow. Yeah, that is such a well-scripted army. Well played to Mictlan. Teaching us... Oh, wait, Smoking Mirror is what it was called. Where the hell is Smoking Mirror? Here he is. What did he cast? Oh, he was doing Curse of Stones too. Okay, so there were 2 Curse of Stones casters. Okay. Let's go to where he is on the battlefield. I think this is him. He's got a Rune Smasher. Full pin gear. That's 5 pin. Looks like he pieced out. Oh, wait, no, he's still here. God, the balls on this guy. He has 2, or he has a global. Oh man, what a phenomenal win though. He just stomped that Mictlan army. Holy shit. Tienchi getting a value pickoff here. That's a pretty sick pickoff. Wow. What a great episode, guys. That was just an amazing battle. That was so cool to watch. That was really well done. Really, really well done. I forget the one thing I'm... Oh man, Agartha's moved in. They want some now. Will Agartha go the same way as those who have gone before him? Where's Lanka? I want to see one thing too. Unless... Oh wait, yeah, so it's only 1 productivity here. Oh no, it's not productivity, it's order 2. Fuck, I was looking at the wrong thing. I was looking at the hammer. It's the dove. And 0 unrest. Ooh, that was a big stat penalty. I don't think that's actually what did... I think had the Curse of Stones in conjunction with Quagmire did it. That was amazing. Oh, I remember what I wanted to watch. I forget if Curse of Stones friendly fires. I don't think it does. I should be able to tell. I can just look at the spell too. Yeah, I think it's enemies only. Yeah, these guys are not, yeah, okay. God! How about that? What a great play. Alright, guys, I'm going to leave you with it. That was a pretty freaking cool episode. We'll see you back in time for turn 44.